Today is day 14 of the UAW-GM strike, so where do we stand 2 weeks in? Let's talk about it now with Autoline's John McElroy and Randy Essex, Senior Content Director focused on the autos for the Detroit Free Press. Guys, good morning. Thanks for being here. Where do we stand, John?
Who knows right now, Jason? You know, I thought that we were getting close to some sort of settlement. I think it was Friday night. They went to like 2 o'clock in the morning. Looks like they've knocked off earlier in the last day or so. And when they go late in the morning, that's when you know they're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Right. So looked like something was going to happen. Now maybe backing off a bit.
Yeah, the call I got last night was around, I think, 7:30, 8 o'clock that they were breaking. They should be back at the table as we are right now. Randy, what do you make of it, the way it's gone so far?
They are back at the table this morning. They're at loggerheads on temporary workers, on health care. GM has, you know, at one point it seemed like GM had relented on how much workers would have to pay on their health care. Now they're asking for more again. The rank and file feels really strongly about doing something for temporary workers, and GM feels really strongly about needing that flexibility and cost savings.
That seems to be one of the bigger ones. When the health care kerfuffle this week, when they took it away early, gave it back, how did that hurt either side, help either side?
I think it was mostly publicity and positioning. Nobody was actually going to lose health care at any point in that. And I thought, like John, when GM relented this week, that, oh, okay, this might be something that breaks the logjam a little bit. And the union pretty much said, it's about time, and was unimpressed.
Yeah. What do you see this week? Do they need to have one big issue break through to the rest, or it just seems like they are really tied up here?
Yeah, I'm not so sure, Jason. We go through this every 4 years now. It used to be every 3 years. We go through this every 4 years. It's very predictable in what's going to happen. It's going right along to schedule right now in terms of how this always goes. I think they're probably getting close. Of course, I could be wrong. It could go on a whole lot longer. But look, you know, when we see September sales, which we'll see early next week or early this week, they're going to be down substantially. It looks like it's entirely possible the whole U.S. market could be slowing down. We could be going into a really tough period, especially with this move to electric cars, autonomous cars and all. A lot of uncertainty in the future. Far better we get this settled as soon as possible.
And we forget sometimes this strike affects jobs all the way down the line, families in other
well, that's exactly right. Look, thousands of workers at supplier companies have been laid off as GM is shut down. So you got to take into consideration that this strike is hurting a lot of innocent bystanders who don't get any kind of strike pay or anything like that. They're just getting laid off. The majority of them are going to lose at least 2 weeks' pay.
How long do you think this could go now, Randy, now that strike pay is kicked in?
Well, one of the things that has to happen is that the UAW leadership has to come up with a plan that they can submit that just looks good on its face. They don't have the credibility with the corruption investigation to really try to sell something to the workers. And in fact, we've been told that that's part of what's slowing it down, is that they have to show something that the workers look at it and say, we can ratify this.
In fact, to just jump in on that, one of the reasons why these negotiations are going slower is in the good old days, if you will. When they get down to the nitty-gritty, very close to an agreement, the president of the union could go in a room with the vice president of labor relations. They shut the door, they hammer it out, and then go to the membership with it. Right now, because of the corruption charges, there's no such thing as going behind closed doors. Everybody's got to be in the room so they can go back to their local and say, look, I was there when this was negotiated, so that the rank and file will believe their leadership.
Is that, by the way, when you look at that, obviously that's the big difference this time around. They have this cloud over their head, at least for the union. But now that we're post-bankruptcy, post-bailout, what's different about this strike than in years past?
No, you just nailed it. It's that this leadership is under a cloud of suspicion. We've seen the current president and former president's homes raided by the FBI. We've never seen anything like that, not with the UAW. And then, as I said earlier, the global automotive industry is slowing down and slowing down fast. You have to wonder how long the U.S. can be immune to that. There's this move into electrification, where guess what? Anybody who works in powertrain, their jobs are threatened. If you make crankshafts and pistons and cylinder heads and all that, electric cars don't use any of it. I believe we've got about a decade before this is really going to hit home. There's at least 30,000 jobs at threat with that. So when you ask what's different, there's the corruption and this very uncertain future.
Does it seem more acrimonious this time around?
Well, it's bitter in some ways. A lot of the workers who have been hired since the recession, so they haven't been through something like this, and they do feel like the union gave and we haven't gotten it back. I think the area of potential breakthrough is in the temp workers. There are people hired at lower wages who don't have a path to permanent employment. They're doing essentially the same jobs as the permanent workers. And the union feels very strongly that there should be some equalization there. And, you know, can GM come up with a way that temp workers can get into the in progression and become permanent workers? Can that be GM's sort of concession? And that's where we find some middle ground, because both sides are really firm on that.
Yeah, and you'd think you'd be able to find some middle ground on healthcare costs as well, being so far apart. Workers now pay 3%. The average American worker pays about 28%, and they can't find any middle ground there.
No, they can't. And in fact, this is where the leadership of the car companies want somebody like a Bernie Sanders to win, come in with his one-payer, you know, Medicare for all thing, and the union lose its health care benefits.
Quick final thought, Randy, what do you see happening this week?
I hope they get closer for everybody's sake,
Yeah.
for the Michigan economy, for all those workers who have been laid off, and for the workers on strike pay. It really needs to move forward.
Guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate the update. We hope that is the case. And we'll talk about a great Detroit tradition at one of the city's greatest institutions. Focus Hope, next.